Okay, guys, I am back, and we are going to do kind of like an intermission to this cute little journal. But what we're going to we're going to make one of these for the journal. So I thought this would be a good kind of time to do another little pocket thing. Okay, so what we're going to work on today is library pockets. And they can come in all kinds of different, like, a lot of different creators do it a lot of different ways. So I thought, let's run through the ways that you can do it. And yeah, so the first one, I've seen Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah do this one, but we need to cut down some of our scraps here. Because I think this one's just a little bit too big. Yeah. So I'm going to cut it down to 4 inches, and all of these are subjective as far as size. It's one of those things you can make in any size you want. Okay, so basically how I've seen Tina do it, let me set this up the way for a second, is she takes hers, and this is a good way to be able to use like other paper on your bottom pocket. So she takes her piece, and let me give you the measurements just in case. So this one is 4 by 7 1/4. Okay. So she takes hers, and then she basically wraps it around like so. Does her creases here, folds this way. Okay, like so. And I probably won't link the videos in this one, mostly because it's been so long since they've done those, and I went back through and tried to see if I could find them. So then she cuts it down. Now, then what she does is she glues them together. But before we glue them together, we have a couple of different things we can do. We can punch a little thumb hole here, right? Which you've seen everybody do before. Now, if you don't have a punch, one of the things you can do is find a quarter, a nickel, a penny, a $50, a little charm, whatever. Kind of find your middle. And then I'm going to do this in pen, mostly so you could see it. Just do the half circle, like so. And then you can get your scissors in there. And I'm way off, I think, on the middle, but yeah, then just do it that way, instead of having to have a lot of tools. So then you have your thumb hole, which again, you'll measure yours up just a little bit better than I did. So then to finish this one off, then you would just take your glue. I'm trying to get a little glue goober off of there. Haven't used the glue in a few days. And you just put the glue here on the tab. Like so. Line it up. So, and it looks like I'm off a little bit, but I think that's okay. And then I usually just take a glue right here, and then you're all sealed. And then you have your library pocket like that. And then you can just stick your tags down in there. And then at that point, you can use it as a tuck on the side or top, a tag up at the top, or however you would like to do that. Okay, so let's do another one. And I'm going to show you 2 different things with this one. So this one will need to cut down. We're going to do 4 inches again, because that usually ends up being a really great size. So I'm going to cut 2 of these. at 4 inches, and I'm going to leave them that length, I think. Okay, this one doesn't require a scoreboard, but scoreboards are definitely easier when you're doing these little ones. Or not little ones, but okay, so what you want to do is you want to decide, usually a 1/4 of an inch is a good edge. So I usually score mine at a 1/4 of an inch on each side. Okay, so then that one would be at 3 3/4 to get a 1/4 inch yard. 1/4 of an inch yard. Bleh. 1/4 of an inch. Bleh. Okay, so then we have it at 4, or this is 8.5 because it was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I'm gonna go. That's kind of a big pocket. So I'm gonna go like 5.5 and put in another crease there. Okay. So if you bring that up and you score that across, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that score right there. Okay. Okay, then you take these and score those in, or burnish them down, I guess would be another word. Okay. Like so. Okay. Let's go ahead and highlight these because it'll be important here in a minute when I get ready to show you where we're going to cut. Okay. Okay, then we're going to burnish this one down. Oops. Okay. Okay, and before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and do this one just like that one too, okay? Because there's going to be a difference in how we put it together, okay? So again, I'm going to score it a 1/4 of an inch on each side. So this one would really be like, I'm going to score it at 3 3/4. Okay. I'm just going to turn it and I'm going to score it at 5.5 again. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it up and burnish all those ends down again. Oh, you know what? I never even asked how you guys were doing. Oh my goodness. I hope you all are doing well. We are doing good here. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight really quick so we can see what we're doing, since it's on white and I didn't really think that through. Okay. Set that aside for a minute. Okay. All right, so now you can see kind of where those score marks are. Now on both of them, we're going to cut down this line here, and then we're going to angle it right here, and then we're going to come up and angle this part right here, okay? One, it cuts out the bulk, and then when it flips, when you flip it up, then you're not going to see, you know, if you're off just a little bit, you're not going to see the edge of that paper, okay? So in this direction, I'm going to just nip it this way. And then I'm going to come in and nip in here. And then I'm going to just take it up here. Okay, and this effectively becomes, this is the back part of the pocket. Okay, so here's where these two differ. You can take your pocket and go this direction. The only problem is that sometimes, I don't know if you could see it, sometimes you're going to be off right there. So you're going to have to decide and bring this in just a little bit more, okay? So it evens out just a little bit, which is kind of, I don't know. I used to do my pockets like this specific all the time, but I like this new manner, okay? So here's the edge. Okay, now again, you can put in a thumb hole here. Okay, so we'll glue this one like that, like I was saying, the corners in, like so, okay. Okay, so then this one is done. Now, don't forget, you can gussy up the edges a little bit on the top and do a punch. And I'll give you another tip here in just a minute if you're going to mass make these, okay? So you can really make these library pockets really look authentic library pockets, right? Okay. So then the other way of doing this is you're going to cut it the exact same way. We're going to nip the corner there, come in and do it again here. And I think a lot of times, especially when we're using scissors, this is where it gets like uneven. So it might not have been our fold per se, but more so our cutting of this line here. And when I say we, I mean me and my multiple personalities. Okay. Okay, now what I like to do, I should say, instead of, that was the last way I showed you used to be how I used to do it. But now, instead of doing that, I wrap it to the back. And then if I'm off a little bit, all I got to do is kind of line it up with the pocket. There's no tearing. Nothing of that nature. Okay. Like so. Burnish it down, and then I'm going to glue it. Actually, first. Oh, this is the next part I was going to tell you about. Now, if you're going to mass make these and you're not using like decorative paper, but you're going to use like a kit paper or maybe some other scrapbooking paper like this, I would leave this unglued and store them just like that, okay? Because if you want to cover any of this, it's not like you can't do it, but it's much harder to back this when it's all glued together. Whereas if you leave it open in a mass make, right, it's easier to decorate this one and then this one and then glue it shut like that, okay? So for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and ink this so that we can see it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it off. And like I said, lots of creators have done these pockets, but I do find that it's fascinating that a lot of different people make it a lot of different ways. So I thought it might be kind of interesting for you guys to see the different methods, especially new kids. Okay, so that's like the third way that I've seen it done. Now we're going to do a paper clip, and I have actually never made one like this. And the video that I was inspired by was from Gail, and it's in her one of her ephemera making playlist. It's one of those videos. Okay, so since I've not made this before, I'm gonna make up the measurements as I go. This piece here is 1 3/4 inches wide. Okay, I'm gonna turn it the long way here, and we're gonna score. I'm gonna say, let's score at 3 inches. Then I want another 3 inches, and I'll show you why in a minute. So that would be 6. And then I think I want to do 1.5 from there. So that would be 7.5. Okay. You know what? Thinking on it, I may have made one of these already. I'm not sure. If I did, it was a really long time ago, and I don't really remember. Okay, so I snipped it off at the 1.5 inch mark, and I think I'm going to have to clean that up a little bit. Bring that over a little bit. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and score or burnish it down. And then we'll do a little bit of highlighting again too, so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I may not have had to have come down that far, but again, not making it, I wasn't sure. Okay, so basically we have a zigzag, right? Like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut a little slit right here. And you know what? I might have seen this on Emily's channel too. Cut a little slit there. Okay. And I'm going to slip one of these paper clips in there. So I want the small piece in first, I think. There we go. Oh, I have to make this just a little bit better, at least glue that in there. Okay. All right, so that's good. That's good. Liking that. Okay. Now I'm going to glue this part down all over in here. And again, I don't think I needed this back piece that long. It'll just add some stability. So I know for sure I saw something similar to it, but now, like I said, now that I'm thinking about it, Emily may have made one like that too, but if she did, it was like at least a year ago, I think. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little tiny divot in there. Oh, how about a little more even? Yeah, that's all right. And I don't know if this is going to show up or not. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and make another one. Maybe out of the plain paper so that you guys can kind of see more what I'm doing. I feel like maybe I didn't give enough explanation there. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'll give it a second. I'm going to decorate this one up, and maybe, like I said, maybe you guys can see what I did here. And then let's pull out our, see, I was thinking little things like this from the kit can go in there. It looks like I need a new sponge. Okay. And we know this one goes somewhere else, so these are pretty much our freebie little pieces. I say freebie, but you know what I mean. Let's see, we got one of those left. One of these left. I really like those little charm pieces that we did with the these right here with the triple thick. I really like those. Apparently I didn't glue this little envelope down. Isn't that hysterical? Okay. My dogs are hanging out right by the door over here. I don't know why. I don't know why they're hanging with me today. They're usually hanging right at Gracie's bedroom door, so I don't know if she shut the door or something. Okay, and then maybe we put that. Okay, yeah, hanging off a little bit would be cute, right? Yeah, I might have to make some more of those. I don't know. I'll have to see how much more decoration we need in there. But yeah, at least maybe some of the smaller pieces. All right, and I think one of the last things to do here is let that dry, and then we've got to get these other ones glued into our book, right? So throw that up there. Then I think the next video will be of us putting the rest of that journal together and maybe the final flip through. Let's see, do I need another piece of paper? I think we might. Kind of looks like it. I think I'm getting kind of close to needing to sew this signature in. I mean, it's getting pretty chunky. It's a chunky girl, which we knew it would be, right? All right, so we'll glue this one down, but then we'll leave it as a tuck. And then that way we'll just tuck these other two library pockets in. And you know what? I should probably go ahead and make that other one, right? Kind of skip around on the video a little bit for the paper clip thing, right? Okay, we'll set that aside for a second. Probably not with those in there though. Okay. And let's do it on paper where you guys can see what we're doing. How about that? Because I actually got to thinking that maybe the one that I saw in Gail's wasn't made quite like that. I don't think that it was. Where did that white? Oh, here's the white. Okay, so we'll just use this scrap piece here. This one is 3 inches wide. I think the one I saw in Gail's actually had the little flaps on the side and not just glued up like we just did. So let's make one of those. And this time I think I'm gonna do a 3/8. I know that seems a little bit wide, but we can trim it down if we need to. It'll just give me a little bit extra of a flap to grab onto. Okay, so if we want it 3 inches long, then let's try a flap of 2 inches down, right, to cover the paper clip. Okay, then we'll go at 5, right? So that'll be the paper clip portion here, and then this is the top flap up. So let's do it at, how about 5, 6 3/4, and cut off the rest, and then we can always trim as needed. Okay, so we will need to cut this one down again, but let's go ahead and highlight like we did the last one so we know exactly what we're doing and where we're going. Okay. I don't know, this might turn into a pretty long video. If it does, I apologize, guys. Okay, so then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna nip that corner there. We're gonna come into that crease mark there, and then we're gonna go, probably should have highlighted more. We're gonna go all the way up here, okay? All the way to the end. Okay, same on this side. We're going to cut all the way down here. Trim out here. And trim out here. Okay, get rid of those pieces. I'll go ahead and put a little divot in there, and that'll probably be easier to see this time. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and burnish this one down in this direction. And this is the one where we put the little slit in there, right about there, kind of in the middle. I probably made that a little bit wider than it needs to be, but that's okay. I'm just going to fish it in there. And I don't think it really matters which side you use, whether you're using the big side or the little side of the paper clip. I don't think it really matters. Okay. Okay, so we'll glue this portion down. Whew, just lost my glue bottle. Yeah, we might need to do a little bit of trimming. I was thinking we might need to, but because you know me, I'm not the best freehand cutter. Okay, and then we would do this around the back, and we need to trim a little bit more. Okay, it's okay. We just trim it down like so, and I have to do this kind of like backwards for me. I hope we kind of get a straight line. Let's trim down. That's not great. Okay, now that I went through all that work, I'm thinking I don't want that to look as ugly as it does, so I'm going to go ahead and put my flaps on the inside there. Oh. Okay. And I think it would probably look a little cuter with decorated up, and without my little goobles there. But this is just going to be for the other journals. So we'll just fill it with something so we know what to do with it. And then we'll pull this back over. Slip those in there. And then we'll just take this paper clip and slip it up over the top, like so. Perfect, perfect. All right, we'll find our middle, and then we will call this one a video. All right, guys, I will just see you tomorrow with the continuation of this other journal. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.